Hey lovelies, you're welcome back to Reviews and Recaps. Today we're going to be talking about the petty duo Porsha Williams and Simon Guobadia. Well, to be honest, you all know I like Porsha, and Simon is the most pettiest man in the history of reality TV. He isn't even on Real Housewives of Atlanta, but everyone knows who he is now. Like, I bet Porsha is regretting the day she ended up with that man. Or at least the day she decided to slide in his DM. If you're new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and tap that bell button so you know every single time that I post. And don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment in the comment section below. Now let's get into today's video. Everything on this video is alleged, everything on the channel is alleged, and in my opinion, and for entertainment purposes and purposes of critique. Now let's get into it. So you guys know there's been so much happening in their divorce. So in terms of the update that we do have, Simon is trying to get them to disregard the prenuptial agreement. But what it seems like is Porsha is still sort of like winning at the moment. So just to give a little bit of context, Simon, according to him, alleges that he purchased the $7 million home in November 2021, and he used his personal funds to purchase that, right? And Porsha, on the other hand, has a nearby home for 1.8 million. Now, Simon's lawyer stated that after Porsha quit her jobs, the couple began discussing a prenuptial agreement in December 2021. During the negotiation and signing of the prenup, Porsha was not working on The Real Housewives of Atlanta or with Dish Nation. She had quit her job to become a stay-at-home wife. The attorney added Porsha's decisions to quit her jobs, not return to The Real Housewives of Atlanta, become a stay-at-home wife, and her financial situation were all key factors Simon considered when negotiating and signing the prenuptial agreement. Based on these factors, Simon started giving Porsha a 5-figure monthly allowance in anticipation of her not returning to work. These payments continued through the prenuptial negotiations. Simon stated that they signed the prenup on November 17, 2022, 9 days before their wedding, and claimed Porsha either did not disclose or misrepresented facts at the time. Now, Porsha left Real Housewives of Atlanta after season 13, as you guys may remember, but she announced it in February before the divorce that she would return for season 16. So she filed for divorce shortly after announcing that she was returning to Real Housewives of Atlanta. If you guys remember, you saw that she's like, she is Porsha Guobadia, something like that. I remember that video. So basically what the lawyer is arguing is that Porsha failed to disclose her intention to return to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Instead, she made it clear to Simon and the public that she was leaving the show and not returning. Simon relied on Porsha's representations or misrepresentations during their engagement, the negotiation, and when signing the prenuptial agreement. If not for Porsha's misrepresentations, Simon would not have agreed to the prenuptial terms. Interesting. It's all getting very messy. Simon also alleges that he spent over $2 million on their wedding. He accuses Porsha of taking sort of calculated steps to divorce him just after 453 days of marriage to intentionally trigger the provisions of the prenuptial agreement for her personal financial gain. You guys already know he was trying to make sure she doesn't film in that house. Porsha was granted temporary sole use of the mansion basically, but of course she's still unable to film in the house. If you guys remember, we covered a story about Simon basically pushing back on her trying to film Real Housewives of Atlanta in the mansion. There was also sort of back and forth in relation to that, and even her filming or her Rolls Royce is like, seriously dude, like you're so petty, like just let her film. Simon's lawyer is basically stating that it is wholly unfair and shocking to the conscience for Porsha to be able to take Simon's $7 million premarital home, collect a substantial amount of the home equity, and receive an exorbitant financial payout from Simon under the terms of prenuptial agreement after she entered into the marriage under fraudulent pretenses and failed to disclose misrepresented material facts. Simon is asking the court to nullify the prenuptial agreement signed. Here's the thing. I feel like, first of all, reading what he's saying, I know his lawyers are alleging that there was some sort of representation by Porsha that she was not going to work and stuff like that. But then I feel like what kind of also hurts his case is the fact that he talks about he was giving her payments whilst the prenuptial agreement negotiation was continuing. So you were already giving her a 5-figure monthly allowance in anticipation. Now, of course, he's saying it's in anticipation of her not returning to work. But then it could have just been allowance. You're wealthy, you want to give me an allowance every month. What is to say that this is specifically because I quit my work? Some people give their partners allowance. I have friends that get or give allowance to their partners. So it's like, it's standard for some people that have the means. I don't necessarily think that it has to tie to her quitting a job. My thing also is there any way for Simon to prove that she left her jobs with Dish Nation and Real Housewives of Atlanta simply because he told her to and she wanted to be a stay-at-home mom? And is there a way for him to prove that was that? Because on the other hand, yes, she quit her job. She wanted to focus on the marriage for the first few years. She could easily say that. And then he would have to try to prove that his intention was that it was based solely on that. But I don't necessarily think it's going to hold very strongly. I think on the other hand, if there are like moral clauses that have been triggered, maybe that's probably a better argument. Although I understand why the argument was made, because then if he's able to prove that he only entered into the prenup based on that, then maybe the prenup may not be wholly applied. But I also think, like, how is he going to prove that? Like, there must be some evidence. Oh, I'm only going to agree to this because of this. There must be some evidence. Some of the things that could help Simon's case, I don't even know if I should be saying this, is things like maybe him, like, some sort of written evidence to somebody where he's talking about the prenup, the only reason why he's entering into it, maybe some communications with Porsha that alludes to her knowing that the only reason she could be entitled to all of this is if she quits her job and never goes back to work. So those are the sorts of things that I would sort of be thinking about that he needs to sort of that needs to be flagged. But first of all, shout out to Ryan Norman, I don't know if I'm saying the name correctly, for this article, and that's where I got the information from. Porsha must have really hurt this man, because the way he's always on social media doing the most, he is upset. He is not happy at all. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Who are you guys rooting for? Are you rooting for Simon? Are you rooting for Porsha? Let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, hit that subscribe button, and tap that bell button right next to it so you know every single time that I post. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye.